they say simply they're fed up. Workers are pushing for better wages and benefits. According to the United Mine Workers of America, back in 2016, in an effort to keep the company alive and keep jobs in the community, coal miners agreed to a $6 an hour pay cut and a substantial reduction in their health care and retirement benefits.
Everybody's doing well. The people that ran the company in the ground to start with, the people on Wall Street that had nothing to do with this, so we couldn't tell you the color of coal, are making a fortune off these. And the workers, in order to keep their jobs, gave up $1 billion. $1 billion out of their pocket over 5 years. After 5 years, the workers at Warrior Met thought, now we're going to get some of the concessions we made reinstated into the contract. Warrior Met was having none of that. The investors up on Wall Street, they were having none of that. They basically said, we'll give you $1, and in the later years of the contract, we'll give you 50 cents. If you think about that, $1.50 over 5 years, that's all they were putting on the table, $1.50. That wouldn't even have allowed the workers to keep pace with inflation going forward, much less getting any of their lost benefits back in these negotiations. We filed unfair labor practice charges against Warrior Met before we struck. We were striking as unfair labor practice strikers. This strike goes on for 2+ years. We don't get a decision back from the National Labor Relations Board until after we made the offer to go back to work. We had a decision from this judge who said, you're right. They didn't bargain in good faith before the strike. They didn't bargain in good faith during the strike, but here's your decision.
So we're following several other big stories for you this morning, including Warrior Met Coal being found guilty of unfair labor practices. The National Labor Relations Board siding with the miners who were on strike for around 2 years, pushing for better pay and working conditions.
We want something back that says what this means when a company knowingly and willingly and has been found guilty of something. What does that mean for justice for the workers? And I want you to think what the state did. The state said, we're on the side of Warrior Met, who's out recruiting coal miners in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, as far away as Utah, to come in here and take the people who pay taxes here's jobs. The governor of Alabama was on their Warrior Met side. The state police was on the side of Warrior Met. The sheriffs were on the side of Warrior Met. We were fighting with everybody, but you would think that the National Labor Relations Board, which was established to protect workers' rights, would say, you can't have this in our society. Warrior Met, upon offering $1.50 over 5 years, before the strike started, and before we filed the unfair labor practice charges against them today, are offering $1.50 over 5 years. And if anyone on earth can explain to me how that is bargaining in good faith after the workers gave up $1 billion to save this company. The CEO and the leadership of Warrior Met did not save Warrior Met. Those workers gave up those concessions and saved Warrior Met. As you know, ended the strike because so many people were finding good paying jobs elsewhere and pretty much decided they're not going back to work at Warrior Met. We've got about 250 of our people back at Warrior Met, which is 250 jobs that somebody from another state doesn't have. And we cost them $1 billion. $1 billion. Now you have to really want rid of the union when you'll give up $1 billion in revenue over 2 years just to make sure the union doesn't win. Those workers that were fired unfairly by Warrior Met, we're still supporting them. They're still getting money from us on a weekly basis, and we're fighting and fighting and fighting until we get every one of them back to work. We're calling upon the National Labor Relations Board to put some significance to the decision that's already been rendered. We've already been proven right, and Warrior Met's been proven wrong. We will not be quiet about this if this issue does not get resolved in the favor of the workers from Warrior Met.